to ease freezes. Then what? We created our knowledge. We created our life. We created our math. Y'all didn't do shit besides steal. Y'all didn't do anything to your You guys didn't make shit. You guys touch children. You guys fuck.
Showing them the door.
We're walking them to the door, y'all. I don't even know how they got on campus. We gonna figure that out, but I don't know. They need to get like a trespass, like penalty or something because.
So that was a little snippet of what occurred at TSU, the Tennessee State University, when two Americans decided to go into a public space, because TSU is a public college, and here in the United States of America, if you're a citizen, you can go anywhere in a public space and you don't need anybody's permission. Well, these two Americans decided to go into this public space because they can and set up shop there, set up their table, because we have amendment rights. You know, they wanted to allow anybody to come and speak to them. And if you didn't want to, you also have free will. So you can literally just ignore them like regular humans do when they don't want to talk to other humans, you know? This college, because they're indoctrinating their students, they're not teaching them to graduate, because, I mean, the graduation rate here is at 23% to 33%. Yeah. Instead of preparing them to graduate and wanting to actually create successful students that are very intelligent and are capable of talking to other humans who also disagree with them, you know, instead of them wanting that, they're indoctrinating them. So that is why they allowed all of these students to get violent and start threatening Americans and their rights. And I think that's not okay. They said that they were trying to make them leave, but there's actual video footage of the opposite happening. What's funny is that this guy, Cam, one of the guys, I've actually listened to him before, and I didn't even realize it was him until this other conservative girl, Amala, she decided to make a video because they're friends and they work together. And it's insane because this guy that y'all were attacking, he's literally super chill. He's a very calm guy. So the fact that y'all did this to him is insane. So Amala and Cam decided to make a video talking about this. And in that video, Cam talks about how, no, the police never made them leave because they don't have a permit. Again, this is a public space.
But we call the public campuses, and they usually are very accommodating. The administration just comes out and says, okay, well, I hope you guys are doing well. And yep, this is it. Like Clemson did that, UNC Charlotte, all of them. And but this administration, we called them and they sent us straight to voicemail before we came. And then the police came and gave us the numbers to the administration as well. And again, we called 3 times and straight to voicemail. So there wasn't a way to get permission to come to this campus either way. And but it's a public campus, so we just, this is our First Amendment right, so we showed up and we did that. And even if there was a justification to kick us off campus for not having a permit, that's the duty of the administration, not the student body, to remove us in a violent manner. If a police officer would have come down and given us a lawful order to leave, we would have done so immediately.
The police had to escort them because one kid decided to pull out a screwdriver. If you need to take out a screwdriver just because you see a white person, yeah, that's mental illness. A lot of you guys are lying and saying that they were getting kicked out because they didn't have a permit. Their safety was at risk. That's why the police decided to escort them out. And I'm going to show you guys the video of what occurred when they were trying to leave and how people didn't want them to leave.
They're intentionally blocking us.
They're blocking us. Here comes the cop. I'm not going to hit it now, I guess. I'm not going to hit it now, I guess. We've got more stuff. They're hitting the car.
I thought they wanted us to leave.
They're hitting the car. We're trying to leave, and they're telling us to leave, and they don't want us to leave, I guess. Hey! They are still hitting the car.
That's okay. Bring it.
I want to see you in person.
They're intentionally blocking us. They want us to leave, but they don't want us to leave.
It's like the biggest conundrum of all time. They're still hitting the car. This is wild. It's like a zombie apocalypse or something, man. Like wow.
If you are terrorizing another American over their race and how you do not want white people to have basic rights like the freedom to speak, then yeah, that's an issue that we got to deal with, because that is terrorism. You're terrorizing the American people. You're not fighting for those rights. Our military is. You think that the Black Lives Matter riots, were you guys authorized to do that? No. Didn't stop y'all from doing it though. These people wanted to talk about illegal immigration. Illegals are not authorized to come into the United States, so why can't an American talk about that? Again, all of these people, they're not sacrificing anything in order to protect Americans' rights. However, they're going out of their way to take the rights away from Americans. That's not okay. And I believe that anybody in America that is willing to take the rights of Americans away needs to have their citizenship revoked. That is not okay. Or the least that we could do is completely defund the school.
Another funny thing too is like a lot of people are on me. Why would you choose to go to an HBCU? Why would you choose to go to an HBCU? And we keep saying like, we first of all we didn't even know it was an HBCU until like the night before. The reason we chose that university is because it's one of the few public universities in Nashville. You have Vanderbilt and Belmont, which are both private, and then TSU is public, and so that's why we chose it, not because it's an HBCU. But even if we did choose it because it was an HBCU, who cares? Do you want us to exclude Black people from the conversation? This I think this actually only galvanizes me to want to go to more HBCUs because I think Black people should be included in the conversation, and I'm not going to be intimidated away from public spaces.
Yeah, and it's interesting that in the wake of what's happened to Charlie Kirk and his assassination, a lot of people have been accusing him of being a racist, of being anti-Black. And in the same way that you've just made that statement, you can find similar statements being made by Charlie. And I think it's really interesting imagery to now see white men go to a campus to have civil debate with Black students, and then Black students sort of corralling them out of the campus. And you look at that imagery and you think, okay, well, we've apparently we're in an age of progress, but we've regressed back to this new form of like anti-white racism. And the imagery is right there in the video, and the fact the university is not acknowledging that is just insane. Now, if you could speak to any of the 500 you said who were there to mob you and riot against what you had to say, what would you say to them now?
I would say I'm impressed by how quickly you all came together. You're welcome for bringing your campus together against a common goal. But seriously, we want to have conversations with you. We don't hate you. We're not racist. We're not anti-Black. We're not anti-woman. We're not anti-anything. I mean, we are anti some stuff like DEI, right? We just want to have a conversation about differing opinions. It's not about anything racial. It's just about I have an opinion and you have a different opinion. Let's talk about it and not hurt each other over those opinions. And that's what it's all about. We want to include Black voices, and yeah,